Hey guys, and welcome back to Free Plugin Friday, where we look at free plugins you can use in your productions. Now today we are looking at another plugin from Variety of Sound, one that I used a little bit back in about 2013, 2014, and has finally been reissued for the 64-bit platform, and that is the ThrillseekerLA Mark II. Now, this is an optical compressor. I believe it's kind of designed to be a very gentle mix bus compressor, but can also be used on a variety of sources. The LA in the name is a little bit of a nod to a very famous optical compressor, but it has some really, really interesting features, especially when it comes to adding character. And it has a bit of auto gain and a bunch of other things that we're going to dive into. So I've got it on the mix bus right now, and I think we're going to have a look at the features on the mix bus. This is a very kind of wall of soundy, very complex mix in that there's a lot of kind of instruments going on, a lot of reverb and stuff. But then we can check it out on a few instruments and on some not so well sung vocals by myself. So I've just got it on the mix bus right now. I'm just going to play it off, turn it on, and then we'll have a look through some of these controls. I don't know what to say, but I can't hold my tongue 'cause it's so cold. Let's set it on and push up the drive control. So about there, we're getting some decent gain reduction. You can really hear it kind of coming in. And you can hear the gain compensation. It's not perfect. I'll show you what happens when we drive it up. It is doing a lot. Obviously, this is pushing 36 dB, but you still need to use the output control. So let's just match it. I think we're going to go through most of the controls around this region because you can really hear what the compressor's doing. So let's have a look at the attack and release. We're going to leave the character buttons for a while. We'll come back to them. So let's have a look at the attack first. Now that is really gluing, but it is now with a slower attack, not really pumping that low end as much, especially with the kick. Off again. You can hear it gluing a lot in the low mid, so let's have a look at the release time. You push it to slow. Need to compensate a little bit. So you can hear as we go from fast to slow, you're getting a lot more of a kind of natural sound, and as the release gets to really slow, it isn't really affecting the micro dynamics as much. It's a little bit more macro. The punch of the kick and snare comes back through. But there is this low mid weight that you can really kind of hear, and we haven't even got to the more character controls yet. So I'm going to set it up a little bit for this song with the attack and release where I kind of see fit. So I think we need a little bit of a faster attack. And then a little bit of a faster release. Without being too fast. Up and back down. But I can't hold my tongue 'cause it's so Now, what's kind of interesting is, unlike other bus compressors that I've used, especially my favorite, which is a SSLG bus compressor, you're not losing that weight and punch in the low end when you start really compressing it. It does kind of smooth things out a lot. It can get a little bit messy, but we're doing about 5 dB, which is a lot more than I'd use on a bus compressor. I'd really try and keep it under 2 dB because I think you're better off building up a lot of compression throughout the song. And there is a lot of compression, a lot of elements in here, so this doesn't need too much compression. We're just kind of trying to glue it together. So let's have a listen again. And then let's have a look at these two controls, low cut and the dry wet. So this is a sidechain low cut. It's really going to help with that low end. And you hear the kick comes back to life a little bit there. Probably drive a little bit harder now. So I'm just going to go between it off. Listen to the kick in the bass. Off. And this is, of course, where you can also bring the dry wet control in so that a little bit more transients come through. Go off again. So with these two controls, which I think all digital compressors should have, you can get a lot of, I guess, what a compressor's taking weight back while keeping that glue and that kind of warmth that we're getting from the compressor. But I'm going to turn, actually I'll leave the low cut on. Let's go fully wet and let's start looking at the loudness, the tube and the interstage. So the interstage, I believe, is basically distortion that is throughout. It's based on a tube optical distortion. The tube is probably the input side. Loudness, I'm not sure what that is, but it does sound cool when it's on. And as well, we've got a ratio, so we will look at that in a second. But let's start with interstage. Let's drive it a bit more. Past the kind of usable compression. Let's turn interstage on. To me, it is quite subtle, but there is some kind of harmonic thing going on in the mids that I can hear. Off again. Just seems a little bit more live or something. Makes up for some of the kind of compression going on. Okay, let's turn in stage off and have a look at tube. Basically getting too loud now, so I'm just going to bring that down. Okay, tube off again. Okay, there's a little bit of a kind of sheen that I'm hearing with tube on. A little bit more aggression in the cymbals. Again, these aren't meant to be super aggressive saturation. It's kind of what's natural in a compressor. And this is a very kind of dense mix, like I said, so you're not going to hear a subtlety. When we go to vocals, we'll have a look at how much we can push it. So let's try the loudness control. Now that makes a fair bit of difference. Almost like I scooped out something in the mids. That's really cool. So let's try them all in together. Let's bring it back to a more suitable setting. Okay. So this is without any of the kind of harmonic stuff on. And let's turn it all on. A little bit louder, but it's got a little more mojo. All of that off. Yeah, it brings it to life a little bit. All of them back on. Okay, let's compare that to the bypass signal. Shoot back on. There is a difference in loudness. That's probably what the loudness is doing. Okay, I'm really loving that. With those kind of harmonic sides put in, it's both gluing some of the stuff, making it fit together a little bit better, but then enhancing certain elements and giving a little bit more kind of space, which sounds counterintuitive. It's like it's gluing it together, but you can see the colors better of the different parts. Like definitely the guitars, that clean guitars coming through a little bit more, but everything's a little bit more controlled. So let's now have a look at the ratio control. I mean, normally with a different kind of compressor, I'd look at ratio first, but I think getting the general vibe of this compressor, let's turn them all off. What we're going to do is go fast attack, fast release, and just compare the ratio, because I think this is where we're going to get some difference. Okay, 3 to 1, and then 10 to 1. Back to 3 to 1. And then 10 to 1. So this is like a clever ratio design, because I believe it adjusts the threshold based on the ratio. So you seem to be getting a similar amount of gain reduction, but what you're getting is more gain reduction on the louder stuff and less gain reduction on the quieter stuff as it moves the threshold. So it's better for really kind of controlling things. Again, this is a very dense mix. Doesn't need as much control, but I think obviously if you're on vocals, and we'll really see it on vocals, bass, that kind of thing, you're going to get a little bit more control of the peaks there. I think that is a good spot to move on to trying it on vocals and seeing what we can do there. Okay, so now we're going to try it on my lead vocal. I've basically taken some of the effects off. I've taken all the compression. So there was an 1176 style compressor, LA2A style compressor, and RVox. So we're going to cover all the compression we had on it there. I've taken all the reverb off and microshift as well, so you can just really hear my very badly sung raw vocals and see what we can do with Thrillseeker.
I don't know what to say, but I can't hold my tongue 'cause it's so cold here right next to you.
Okay, let's drive it up.
I don't know what to say, but I can't hold my tongue 'cause it's so cold here right next to you.
Already that's controlling a lot better.
I don't know what to say, but I can't hold my tongue 'cause it's so cold here right next to you.
Like it so far? Off again?
I don't know what to say, but I can't hold my tongue 'cause it's so cold here right next to you.
Faster release, maybe. Okay, let's listen to the different ratios.
I don't know what to say. I don't know what to say, but I can't hold my tongue.
Let's just get this bit, the I can't hold bit.
Hold my tongue 'cause it's. But I can't hold my tongue 'cause it's. But I can't hold my tongue 'cause it's. But I can't hold my tongue 'cause
Changes that can a little bit.
But I can't hold my tongue 'cause it's. But I can't hold my tongue 'cause it's.
I think I like a bet on 3 to 1 though.
I can't hold my
Okay,
tongue
let's
'cause it's.
pump it a little higher
But I
and
can't
try
hold my
the
tongue 'cause
tube,
it's. But I can't hold my tongue 'cause
the
it's.
interstage.
But I can't hold
Oh,
my
that makes a
tongue
nice
'cause
difference,
it's.
interstage.
But I can't hold my tongue 'cause
And loudness.
it's. But I can't hold my tongue 'cause it's. But I
put all the
can't
effects
hold
back on.
my tongue 'cause it's. But I can't hold 'cause it's. But I can't hold my tongue 'cause it's. But I can't
Off.
hold my tongue 'cause it's. But I can't hold my tongue.
Way
'cause
smoother
it's.
with it
But
on.
I can't hold my tongue 'cause it's.
It sounds a bit dull in a way.
So
So back on and see.
But I can't hold my tongue 'cause it's.
Okay, in the mix.
But I can't hold my tongue 'cause it's. 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 I don't know what to say.
So the whole section.
But I can't hold my tongue 'cause it's so cold here right next to you.
Probably a bit quiet. Even though we kind of matched the volume, I think we're boosting it before. So turn it off. Here everything pokes out and it just doesn't have that clarity. Back on. So it's almost able to do what I was doing with 2 separate compressors. I think it's very program dependent, which is very nice, but it doesn't kind of choke out, which some LA2As plugins seem to, where they kind of flatten out a bit. I can hear it happening a bit in the top end, but it's keeping those low mids just really nice, which I like. So the last thing I want to try it on is bass, because bass is something that I'd put an optical compressor on. So let's just stick it on bass and see how it sounds there. Okay, so this bass, I was doing the same thing as before. I had an 1176 style compressor and a LA2A style compressor, and we're going to see what we can do with Thrillseeker instead. So this is it. Okay, let's drive it up. I think here the 10 to 1 is going to be useful. And with the sidechain low cut, we can really decide if we're, compressing the attack or the kind of low end. Let's bring the attack up higher, like faster. That's snappier. Let's try interstage on, tube on, and loudness on. We're losing a bit of low end, so I'm going to put that low cut up a bit. Maybe bring the dry wetter back a little. Let's listen to it with drums. Off. On. Okay, off again. You can hear you kind of losing a little bit of the notes there. Put it back on. In the whole mix. Okay, we'll start with off and then we'll go on. So, off. I don't know what to say, but I can't hold my now we'll turn it on. I don't know what to say. But I can't hold my tongue 'cause it's so cold here right next to you. Okay, it seems to work great on bass too. It's just not losing too much low end, which is really easy to do with compression, especially something that's, you know, very heavy on the low ends, like a kick drum or a bass. It kind of overwhelms the compressor, I think, with the combination of the low cut and just how program dependent this kind of is and how it kind of works. It's able to smooth out the bass without losing too much of that kind of warmth and heaviness, and it actually brings a little bit of that grit back in, which you kind of need for bass to cut through. So I'm going to leave it there. That is ThrillseekerLA Mark II. Go check it out from the Variety of Sound website. I think it is a very, very useful compressor, especially for a free compressor. It covers a lot of the ground I'd want an optical compressor to cover. It really does give some of my LA2A plugins a bit of a run for the money. It doesn't quite have this kind of characteristic that I like out of an LA2A. It's got a little bit of a different thing going on, but it's also covers things that a lot of LA2As can't. I think because of your kind of extra controls you have here, you can really tailor it a little bit more than the simple peak reduction and a volume control can cover. So thanks for watching. Check out all the other free plugin Fridays and a few other videos hopefully sprinkled around through December, January, and I'll see you next time.